Welcome to Frame Fitness and congratulations on your new frame reformer. My name is Piper, I'm an instructor here, and I'm ready to walk you through all the ins and outs of your reformer. So, when you're ready, you're gonna meet me just on the side of your machine. Our reformer has a front platform and it has a back end. So when you hear us talking about meeting us on the platform or meeting us at the front, we're usually gonna mean right here. This is the part that's stable, the part that doesn't move. Anytime we talk about the back of the machine, you're gonna be looking over here at the monitor. You're probably gonna be looking at the monitor a lot, so just keeping in mind that sometimes the back is gonna be where you're facing. Other than that, most important is we're going to be spending a lot of time here on the carriage. The carriage is the part that moves, and if you haven't spent much time on a reformer, you'll want to be exceptionally careful that when we step up on our machine, you're always going to want to make sure you have something, a hand, a foot, on the stable part of your machine. The carriage is the part that moves, so that's the part that we're going to be connecting to our spring resistance. So we are super lucky on this frame reformer. We have a patented dual spring technology on the front and on the back of our machine. So here's how you connect your springs. You're going to select from either one or two of our 2 light springs, 2 medium springs, or 2 heavy springs simply by pushing the button down. When you push the button, you're going to see it pop up, and that means that spring's ready to be engaged. We'll take our carriage, and now that it's engaged, we're going to marry the two together, and before you know it, you see that spring attached. Now, if you're just going to layer on springs, maybe you start with the medium and decide you need more resistance, all you have to do is push your light resistance that you want to add, marry the carriage and platform again, and then you'll see both of those springs attached. When it comes time to detach your springs to switch your spring load, make sure that once again, your carriage is touching the front platform, and then you're just going to push down on the springs that you no longer want, and then you slide the carriage away. It's really important when you guys change the springs that you always remember to bring the carriage all the way to the front platform. If the carriage is away from the platform, you're going to have a more difficult time engaging the springs, and it might not click completely in. So making sure that you go all the way in for a secure fit. If you want to use the springs on the back, it is the exact same concept. So here on the back of the machine, you're going to just select the springs that you want. They pop right up. You marry that carriage all the way into the back of the machine, and then you'll wait for the click, and then it's going to engage right in. To disconnect, you push that spring down, and we just slide that carriage right away. From here on the carriage, we also have our carriage strap. So this carriage strap is adjustable. You can always unclip to tighten or to loosen based on how tight you want your fit to be, especially when we put our hands, when we put our feet underneath our carriage strap. We also have our cables. You'll have 2 of them here on your reformer, and on your cables, they're adjustable as well. You can adjust them to make them a little bit tighter to make your springs feel heavier. You can always make them feel longer for specific exercises, and just making sure that your 2 cables are even with each other. Other than that, the anatomy of your cable, you're going to notice your cable has a couple different parts that you can grab. We have here our foot loop, and we have our hand loop. Now, the thing about your foot loop and your hand loop, it's not exclusive to just hands or feet. It's just to help you determine the length. And so oftentimes, if you want to grab the cables, you're going to grab right here at the hand loop. But should you want something to feel a little bit lighter, if you need the cable to feel longer, you're just going to grab right at the foot loop. And you have plenty of room to grab right here at the webbing or even on the cables themselves. Other than that, coming to the back of our machine, we do have our monitor here, which is adjustable for you. Make sure you have yourself really familiar with each and every single part of your reformer. Last but not least, at the very front of our machine, we have our adjustable foot bar. The foot bar is adjustable into 5 different places. Here you can see it's already in its all the way down position. When we want to move the foot bar, you're going to grab your foot bar from both sides. You want to lift that bar away from you, and then coming up, clicking it into place. We can have this in our tilted away position. We can come straight up and down, and we can also have our foot bar turned towards us. It's going to depend on which exercise you want to do, just making sure that as you lift from both ends, that you do click into position so that it doesn't slide back down again. Depending on your height, depending on your leg length, you're gonna play around a little bit, figuring out exactly where you want this foot bar to be. And that same goes with our carriage. As you guys get to know your reformer, you'll be able to redefine every single move that we do. You'll get the most out of it just by playing around with it, and I hope you fall in love with this reformer as much as I have. Play around with it, and I will see you guys for a workout real soon.